right. All right. We back. We back and we live again. I wanted to open up with music because that's my thing. I like to open up with music. I want that to be my new thing. Just open up with music and you know, have people listen to me, listen to my taste in music. Wow. Okay. All right. This is me. We back again. Got my walls done finally. That white background you see in there, my walls been paneled. Found a good carpenter, Thank Amen for a good carpenter. Bronze man, from out here. Got my New York City shirt on, old school New York City shirt on, even though I'm not in New York City no more. Got my New York City shirt on. We're gonna talk about some things. My daughters could close my office door. My daughters, yes, yes. Ladies, hello. No, no, no. Here come my daughters. No, ain't nobody want y'all going. I can't get. Look. Here come my daughters trying to get on camera. Look at this. Oh boy, here we go. All right, yeah. Okay. Okay. Go on. They want to be seen. Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all been seen. Goodbye. Bye. Now you gotta work. Bye. Love of daddy's life. My coffee, please, dear. All right, we got some things to talk about here. First and foremost, in the name of Amen, the Supreme, the all-powerful, the one and only true Lord. And hold on. Okay, y'all interrupting now. My baby's interrupting. Go on back out. Come on. They want to be on the daddy. They love me. For some strange reason, they love me. Okay. Go on. Daddy working. No. Come on. You can't be up on me now. Daddy working. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Hello. Let daddy work. Come on. We're not making no video, no music video right now. Let daddy do what he got to do. All right? Daddy got to inform the people. Because a lot of things are going on right in front of our face. But let me start off in the name of Amen, the Supreme, the all-powerful, the one and only true Lord. And Amen we trust, and Amen we thank it, and Amen we continue forward forever. I am your host, the intellectual Benjamin Manhattan, and this is High and Mighty Thoughts with me, Benjamin Manhattan, the intellectual Benjamin Manhattan. And I'm going to address a topic. I'm going to address this topic that just came across my desk. My father called me and told me about this, and I'd be remiss if if I didn't address this. I gotta say this because I was going to talk about something totally different, but being is that this took place, I had to say something about this. Got my new mic in here. Shout out to my new mic and the mic, so everything should be clear. I ain't gonna put the mic on camera, but everything's good. Everything's in HD now. We upgraded and we're doing more things. I wanted that bright airy look, but on to topic at hand because I'm gonna address a lot of other topics. But this Billy Porter thing, this guy Billy Porter is an actor. He's LGBT, and he just got on his knees and bowed down and kissed Joe Biden's hand, right, in a form of worship, right? And Joe Biden, of course, smiled and allowed him to do it. Now, what's wrong with these optics? What is that saying? Why was that shown? Why did Joe Biden allow another man, to get on his knees and kiss his hand? I mean, I know Joe Biden's old. Some people say he's semi-senile, and whatever, but why would a man let another man get on his knees and kiss his hand? Why would another man do that? Why would a male allow another male to get on his knees and kiss another man's hand? Now, unless Joe Biden's so gone, he maybe thought Billy Porter was a female because he had his long hair. I think he had on when he kissed his hand, I should say. But I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he was well aware that Billy Porter was a male, and that this black male was coming up here to kiss your hand dressed like a female, this LGBT black male who came up here and kissed your hand and bowed down to you. Why was that okay? Why did Joe Biden's people find that okay to show so-called black male doing that? Forget the fact that he's LGBT, right? Was this meant to send out a greater message? Because with these people, with these people in politics, optics is everything. Optics and sound bites are everything. Keep this in mind. Now, his people didn't think that something was wrong with this flaming queen here getting on his knees and kissing Joe Biden's hand. Obviously, people wanted that look out for a reason. You have people that want that look out for a reason, right? And when I say you got people who want that look out for a reason, I'm talking about the people that control the optics in media and print ads, right? Because this is all over internet. They want that image out of a, as Tariq Nasheed would say, a buck broken black male on his knees kissing a white man's hand in servitude, in buck broken servitude. That's what they're showing you. What they're showing you, so-called black men, is this is the only way Mr. Joe Biden is going to accept you and the so-called white man. That's what the statement was. That was the statement that was being made. Because I don't care. Like I said, as a straight man, as a heterosexual man, I don't want no man getting on his knees, especially one who's not a heterosexual, kissing my hand. You see, what does that say about the masculinity of Joe Biden? What does that say about the well? That you already know what it says about the masculinity of Billy Porter. There is none. But my point being is that it's meant to send a bigger picture, a broader picture. They wanted to show you an image of a so-called black man, buck broken in the future, getting on his knees, kissing a white man's hand in servitude, in subjugation. That's what it was meant to show. Because I don't know where they thought that was cool that, that to show that, to even show whether it was a heterosexual black man on his knees doing that, or whether it was a woman doing that. What are you trying to convey in this picture? You're trying to convey subjugation. You're trying to convey subjugation. You're trying to show a buck broken black male in 2024 on his knees, kissing a white male's hands. Now, like I said, for somebody like a Billy Porter, that don't mean nothing. He people like him, they pretty much live their lives, as open LGBTs. They live their life that way, and they don't feel like, they don't feel demoralized by, as so-called black males, by getting on their knees and kissing a white man's hand. The same way the black Christians don't feel demoralized by getting on their knees in 2024 and still worshiping a white Jesus. It's the same thing. You got all these so-called black people here, right? The bronze people worshiping the image of white Jesus, and that's what the Joe Biden. That's what it gave off with the Joe Biden and Billy Porter thing, because that was staged. For him to be able to walk up to Joe Biden and then no security all over him and whatnot, that was staged. And he was okay with that. I'm pretty sure they cleared it with Joe Biden before it happened. Look, this flaming queen gonna come up here. This flaming black queen gonna come up here and kiss your hand and whatnot, and act like you like it. All right. He probably said, act like it. I'm gonna like it. I ain't gotta act. I don't have to act. And he had a smile on his face. And he's looking kind of robotic, but it says something. It really puts a message out. You see, this is why I say again, black masculinity is under attack. Black masculinity is under attack, and the subjugation of black males is in full effect. Again, the message is being made that either you're going to walk behind these people buck broken, right? Walk behind these people buck broken and be willing to demoralize yourself at the behest of these people, or you don't have no place around these people. That's the message that's being sent. You see, that's the message that's being. Why didn't it show us a heterosexual black man shaking Joe Biden's hand? Why would they show someone who is LGBT? Because see, let me tell you something. Whether you so-called black males are calling yourself LGBT or whatever, you're still seen as a so-called black male in this society until you say otherwise. Now, again, Billy Porter can claim LGBT all he wants to. That's how I take it. Don't bother me as a bright man, as a bronze man. I don't even get into the inner mental workings of like that of black people because I already understand how black people think. And I only share this because you have a lot of intelligent ones of our people who have left the black race behind, who are coming out of the black race. Because, like I said, black people have become slow mentally. Our people is when our people became black, meaning people started recognizing us as black people. Because see, prior to that, a lot of people don't know, a lot of this young generation don't know. Prior to the 60s, we wasn't referred to as black people. See, you got a lot of millennials in here who don't know that. They think that, oh, I'm born black, we black, and blackity black, and that's who I am. Keep this in mind. Going back past the 60s, when nobody called us black people. We was colored, we was Negroes. There was no African American yet. We was colored and Negroes. There was no black yet. Negro, even though it's Spanish for black, but there was nobody calling us a black people. That came about in the 60s as a way to hide our American indigenous culture and heritage. Remember, I told you all before that the goal was to strip us of our American Indian heritage. The goal was to strip America of American Indian history because that's really our history. That's not the so-called Native Americans' history. You know why? Because if you question some of these so-called people who pass themselves off as Native Americans, you will see that these people are really Caucasians and Asians mixed. These people are not indigenous to this land, and they're calling themselves Native Americans, but you can clearly trace their bloodline back to Mongolia, back to where they crossed the Bering Straits and came here. You can trace it back to the Mongolian people. These people are not American indigenous people. They're not American Indians. We are. And, the reality of that is becoming more and more prevalent and just clear, just in your face where we can't even deny it no more. The days of Umar Johnson is over. The days of Dr. James Smalls and all these niggas up here teaching that we African, them days are over, man. They over, man. These people are being exposed. I told you all these pro-black people that's promoting this Pan-African stuff, they're all boule. And you're going to find that out very soon. These are all boule, sellout, indigenous people who was pushing this message to our people to hide our American indigenous heritage. You have a lot of sellouts amongst the American Indians, the American indigenous people. A lot of sellouts. So, and your Billy Porters are one of these sellouts. Again, that's why I said there has to be a community that is formed separate from these black people who have no integrity. People like your Billy Porters who are full of degenerates. The black race is full of degenerates. We're just going to say it like that. The black race is full of degenerates. They have no shame. They have no, morals. They have no integrity. They'll sell each other out. They'll promote anything to our people. You see, yes, this is the judgment of the black race. This is the judgment of the black race from a former black man. From a former black man, this is the judgment of the black race. And why I say former black man is because black is a state of mind that was put upon our people, placed on our people by the government here, because you do know black is not, there's no such thing as black people. That, of course, that's just a racial designation, just like white people. Like I said before, if people can be classified as white and not be Caucasian, it's the same way we were classified as black and our skin is not black. It's the same thing. It was meant to be a message or a sign or signal to the powers that be that we are the American indigenous people. Because again, I told you, whenever colonizers come into a landmass, they start trying to erase the people. They start trying to erase the culture of the people. Okay. And the ones who they can blend in with and to marry in with, they do that as well. But the goal is to get the control of the land over to the colonizers, to the foreigners. And they went about trying to do that with our people, but they were not really able to do that because we are so different from the Europeans. It's not like the Mongolians who was here, who, the white man basically allowed them to be white, basically told them just cut your hair, you can be white. They gave U.S. citizenship to the Mongolian Indians, the Mongoloid Indians. They gave them U.S. citizenship, right? And said that they could refer to themselves as Native Americans under the condition, of course, that they start taking white people into their tribes, letting white people come onto their reservations, letting white people set up churches on every reservation in America. Every one of these so-called Native American, these so-called Native American reservations, there's a church there. Now, these people are always up here talking about their culture and how spiritual they are and their culture. And these are the main people who I've been seeing on the internet, these so-called Native Americans. These are the main people who've been calling out people wobbles and all this. This is the name they call out people wobbles, and we need to stop being ashamed of our African heritage and all this other nonsense. And we don't have no African heritage. We don't. We can prove that we, the American Indians, they can't. They can't. We can prove that we, the Mesoamericans, the Olmecs, the Aztec, the Inca, and the Mayan, they can't. They've been trying to do this stupid thing where they've been putting their face, these mixed Mexicans, been putting their face up next to the Olmec faces and saying that's them. But they get Mexicans with thick lips and broad noses. Mexicans that are mixed with us, the original people, the Olmecs, the Aztec, the Inca, the Mayan, the real Mesoamericans. They get the ones who were mixed in with us, who have our features, and then they put them next to them as if those people existed back then. Those people didn't even exist back then. These were full-blooded indigenous American bronze people who were there, who had the Olmec empires, the Aztec, the Inca, and all of them. This is how they look. You see, just because you get a few people who are mixed breeds, like these people they try to put up there, try to make you think that these are the people. No, it's not the people. The features they got are our features. The broad noses, the thick lips are our features. That's not their features because they're not even a real people. Your modern day Latinos are a mixture of so-called black, which is American indigenous, white, which is from their Spanish ancestry, right? European Spaniards, and some of them got Asian in them from the Mongolian mix. That's why, if you notice, you'll see a lot of Latinos, especially Mexicans out in California, who look like they Asian. Why do you think they look like they Asian? Why do you think most of these people who call themselves Native Americans look like they got Asian origin, Asian ancestry? Why do you think that is? Or Caucasian? Because you already know the Caucasians, they were just going up here, joining the reservations and being able to do what they want mixed into the reservation. That's why, if you notice, you'll see a lot of these so-called Native American chiefs today. They look like white boys. They look like a bunch of straight up stone white boys. You see? And that was set up purposely because the narrative, they're trying to turn the narrative into that the Native Americans are these white people. That's the narrative they're trying to preach and push. Oh, we wiped the American Indians out hundreds of years ago. No, you didn't. They still here. You just call them African Americans. You call them Negroes. You call them black people. The American Indians are still here. The American indigenous people are still here, falsely being labeled as African Americans, falsely being labeled as Black Americans, Negroes, anything other than American Indians, anything other than American indigenous people. You know the truth? Anything other than American. Because in all actuality, we are the real Americans. But my last thing on that Billy Porter thing is that's a trend. That is a trend that those circles, those political circles, the the sports arenas, because even with a lot of these sports people, right? They using these sports guys, a lot of these basketball players and football players to push this emasculation of black men. The guy Shannon Sharp with the damn purse, right? And they make sure they take pictures of him getting in and out of cars and whatnot. They take pictures of him because his handlers have to show this black male. They let him make all this money. He's a millionaire. They let him make all this money, but there's a cost with that. You have to show yourself to be a fruit cup. You have to be a tootie booty. You got to be a fruit cup. You see? That's why they show him Spike Lee. He was in an ad with a purse too. They let these Negroes know, if you want to be around us, you want to keep getting this money, this is how we want to portray you so-called black men, as a bunch of fruit cups. And we want you to push that fruit cup energy to the rest of the young black boys out there who may not have grown up with a father, who impressionable, who looking at you dudes and whatnot with all this pink stuff on. And like I said, y'all down with the get down. The get down is to emasculate you so-called black men. Like right now, it's trending with this guy Diddy. They keep on pushing Diddy like he just the biggest sodomite on earth. You see how they pushing Diddy like he the biggest, like he the father of sodomites, like he the biggest sodomite on earth now. The biggest weirdo, the biggest freako, the biggest sexual degenerate, which we know ain't true because he got turned out by somebody. And it was a white boy that turned him out. Something they say it was Clive Davis. It was a white boy that turned him out. Caveman turned him out. And some sodomite Negroes that was following them. They was down with that. He got turned out. They all got turned out when they get in that industry. They get tooted up. Get you put a dress on. Engaged in homosexuality. That's what these people do, man. For their money. This is what they do. They're nothing. They're no different than whores on the street. They just high paid and high placed whores, man. That's all these people are. You're gonna get to them goddamn judgment today. They're gonna get some guy. You look up to these people, they're nothing but whores, man. They harlots. You see, that's all they are. Yeah, that's my shirt. Yeah, so don't look up to these people, man. They're not worth looking up to. Well, afternoon coffee. What else am I going to talk about? Yeah, that brings me to this next topic about religion and how that, along with pushing homosexuality, these guys got to also push a God, and the gods of this world, religion. God in particular. No, you don't have to say no particular denomination of what you believe in, but the God of this world that they push is Jesus, of course. And in doing this, and pushing Jesus, it's a how you say it's a reintroduction to subjugation. When you see these guys with the Jesus piece on their neck, these rappers and all these other guys, everybody believe in Jesus so much, right? But yet these people are degenerates. Right? They do drugs, right? They into sodomy, they sodomites, right? You already know what a sodomite is. I'm gonna use the old biblical term so that I don't get no strikes against that. But the term, we don't say homosexual. We don't use the F word here. We just say sodomites. They sodomites because it's a sodomite vibration. It's a sodomite energy out here in the world today. It's a heavy sodomite vibration and energy out in the world today. But especially in those industries that you people love so much, you look up to these people in the industries and whatnot. Yeah, again, when these white boys, they control that energy, and these are your original sodomites, your Greco-Roman, bunch of Caucasian, European sodomites who brought their, selves over here into America, and they continued their sodomite behavior and sodomite activity, and they broke a lot of you American indigenous bronze men. As soon as they got off the boat, they broke a lot of you guys, or they broke you down to whereas when you see them handing over the American indigenous woman, the so-called black woman, to the European invaders and whatnot, like they talk about the Pocahontas thing and all that. Like I said, man, a lot of that's bronze. That's the American indigenous bronze people. Us, allowing ourselves to be broken down by this foreign entity. You see? And allowing people to break down who you are in this foreign entity, you got to accept their God. You have to accept their God as your Lord and Savior. You have to accept their Jesus. You have to accept Allah, Jehovah. They make you accept the gods of this world, right? And the gods of this world are, you know, okay with sodomite behavior. They okay with sodomite behavior. They okay with pedo behavior. They okay with bestial behavior, bestiality, girl. They okay with that. The gods of this world are okay with that. That's why I don't follow the God of this world. That's why we as intelligent people should not be following the gods of this world. Because the God of this world, the God that the preacher, the pastor, the minister, the reverend, the imam, the God they adhere to is okay with the degeneracies of this world, which makes them degenerates. Which makes them degenerates. When you go into church and you on your knees praying, or you in the mosque or the temple praying 5 times a day, you praying to a God of degeneracy, man. Because the majority of these people that follow these gods, believe in these gods, have a fundamental belief in these gods, are degenerates. They're degenerates. Thus say the Lord, man. Thus say the judgment. That's how it is, man. The people of the Lord are different than the people of God. The people of the Lord are different than the people of the children of God. I'm going to say it like that. Because I told y'all before, God and the Lord are two totally different powers. God and the Lord are two totally different powers. Don't let them people in religion lie to you and try to get you to think that the Lord and God are the same. Now, people might say, oh, well, I don't believe in none of that stuff. I don't think that none of that strange, no God above us. We all our own gods and all this other stuff. You know how black people say this, I'm my own God. This woman's a God, she God, he God. We all our own gods. First of all, that mindset, that delusional mindset, is just that, a mindset of delusion. Because reality states that we all answer to a higher power. We all answer to a higher order, whether we choose to accept it or not. We all do. You know how you know that? Because there are things beyond our control, things that come out of the blue that we can't control. Things that happen in our lives, things we're chosen for that we necessarily didn't choose ourselves for, things that happen in our lives that are being controlled from a higher space, an extended space. It ain't in this space where we in. You see, we would like to believe that we have control over everything in our life, but that's not true. You have control over things in this 3-dimensional realm, or the two, whether realm you in. We can control certain things here, right? We can control our finances. We can control paying bills, but you cannot control the things that come out of the blue. The things that come out of the blue, it could be death all of a sudden. It could be a new income. It could be something good. It could be something, or whatever. Whatever. We don't control that. So whatever comes to us out of the blue, that's a sign that our lives are controlled on a higher level. We have to get on that higher level to understand the mindset in which our lives are aligned to. We have to align ourselves with that high mind, because a lot of times it is possible for you to comprehend on a higher level that higher power. It is mentally and logically possible to comprehend that higher power, which you are supposed to be an extension of. Because once you lock yourself into that mental power, that higher power, that power of the Lord, not God, the Lord. Again, I'm not trying to get religious here, because the Lord has nothing to do with religion. The Lord has everything to do with judgment and order. And of course, law, order, and judgment. You know, like how you go to a court and you have to deal with the judge. If you should be in some kind of problems, by way of the law, you have to deal with the judge who deals with you, and you get assigned your punishment, or whatever the case is. That's the same way the Lord works in the world. The Lord works off of law, order, and judgment, and punishment for the breaking of those laws. You follow? The true Lord works on law, order, punishment, and judgment, a judgment and then punishment for the purpose of correction. So you can see the reality, you can see logically the reality of having a Lord of the world that deals with judgment, because judgment brings about what? Correction, and correction brings about the empowerment or the upliftment of a people when you are found to be proven to be qualified to continue going forward in life. Then that's by way of judgment. That's why by way of evolution. That's how evolution works. Evolution, which is the power of the Lord, because the Lord carries that. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Who is the Lord? The Lord carries the power of judgment. The Lord oversees people by way of judgment. Mentally, we all going to be judged. Me, myself, I've been judged already. Tried, proven, we continue to be judged. We're supposed to be judgmental. Yes, we are. In this world here, the so-called white man, he tell you you're not supposed to judge. But he that don't stop him from judging you, though. He'll tell you that, or he'll send the so-called liberated black female out here, his chief lieutenant. I'm not talking about all you sisters out there. I'm talking about the liberated black female. She'll come out into the world and say, oh, don't judge nobody. Don't judge nobody. But meanwhile, you know, if you're sitting up here telling people not to judge, then you're disconnecting yourself from the Lord. You're disconnecting yourself from the Lord when you tell people not to judge, and you're connecting yourself with God. God is the you know, what's the best way to describe God? God is the delusional mindset of mankind. That's the best way to describe God. God is the delusional mindset of mankind. That's what God is. Meaning that mankind believes that through the power and through the connection of their God, that they can do whatever they want to do. That's that do as thy will mentality. They believe that they can do whatever they want to do. That's that do as thy will mentality. Like I used to hear 5%ers years ago talking about the black man is God and God can do whatever he want to do. You ever heard them say that? The 5%ers used to say that the black man is God and he can do whatever he want to do. That's very different from the Lord. The Lord don't do just, the Lord does in accordance what he's supposed to do, because the Lord, you see, because I consider myself a Lord, not a God, a Lord. I consider myself a Lord, L-O-R-D, a Lord, not a God. See, a Lord don't just do anything. The Lord has laws and orders and ways and structures in which he follows. Just as a woman can be Lord as well, but you have to have that high level of discernment. You have to have that high level of discernment to be people of the Lord versus the children of God. So you see, the people, the children of God, they'll sit up here and tell you, oh, we under grace. We can break all the laws. We ain't got to follow no laws until the Lord come back. Ain't that what they say? But wait a minute. They said, think about this for a second. It struck me. They said that we don't have to follow the laws until the Lord come back, but you claim to follow God. So I thought those were, you know, when was the law ever done away with? You know, the law where you're not supposed to be a sodomite, the law where you're not supposed to be. Now, if you say that in the churches that's supposed to be the people following God, they'll tell you, oh, don't say that. You know, you can't say it. You can't be hateful. God love everybody. But what did the Lord say? What did the Lord order? Because again, the Lord represents a people who are following law and order. That's what the Lord represents, a people who are following law and order, just like God represents a people who are breaking laws and orders. The people who are under God break all the laws and the orders. That's why you got sodomites in the church. You got this guy, and they usually get the so-called black male out here. You got this guy who's a pastor in some church in, I forget, in Atlanta or some of them places. And he's just an open sodomite. He's an open sodomite. He got himself a first man or first aka his boyfriend, and they praising God together like nothing wrong. And they got people in the church and everything. Nobody got up and walked out. You know why? Because everybody is under the delusional rulership, the degenerate rulership of the gods of this world. See, the gods of this world are controlled by mankind, by the beast. Because how you going to be a man of God and you're a sodomite? How you going to be a man of God supposedly? Well, that's about right. You would be a male of God, a follower of God, and be a sodomite, because you know where the whole God thing came from. That comes from the Greco-Romans, who are a sodomite culture. So it makes sense that the males, the black males in the Christian church are sodomites. You following behind sodomites. You sitting up here. You can't say that being a sodomite is wrong, because if you say being a sodomite is wrong, that's why you'll never hear these reverends and ministers taking a hard stand against sodomy. They'll say that because they won't say that because they want to keep getting their 501c3 charter from the government where they don't have to pay taxes. The minute they say something wrong with being a sodomite, they're gonna get their charter snatched away. They're gonna get their 501c3 or whatever and they're gonna get that status snatched away. You see, because you can't be against the degenerate things of this world, because that's what the people of this society are into. The people of the society, a lot of these people in the higher upper echelon people are pansexuals. They sodomites. Mm-hmm. Now, lay beyond sodomites, they straight up into males, females, animals, children, all kinds of degeneracy. Yet these people have a fundamental belief in God. So I'm gonna ask you again: do this sound like the people of God? Do the children of God sound like the people, the men and women of the Lord? Do that sound just like the same? So the men and women of the Lord, we about judgment. We ain't accepting no sodomite behavior. We about the Lord. We don't practice no sodomy. We don't do none of no same same sex. We don't do that. That's them people over there who follow God. That's what they do. The people over here that follow the Lord, we don't do that. We follow the Lord's statutes and commandments and order. And you so-called Israelites too. You guys follow the God of this world. You follow the gods of this world. Yes, you do. You don't follow the Lord. Because you guys want to lay with these other races out here, which is against the law of the Lord. Mixing your seed with other races is against the Lord. That's against the Lord. You see? That's against the Lord, to mix your seed with other races. We ain't supposed to do that. That's why we were given, each of us, the men were given, a woman of your own kind to be with. You see, men were given women of their own kind to be with, to make an offspring of their own kind. But see, now that changed. You see? Because these people are not under the law, order, or judgment of the Lord. Well, they're under the judgment, but they're not under the law and the order. They're not. You see, this is why they have no reverence. They have no real reverence for the Lord, but they love God, because under God you can do whatever you want. They teach you God love everybody, right? God love everybody. Ain't nothing wrong with doing whatever you want to do. You know what that is? That's Aleister Crowley talk. Do as thy will. That's Aleister Crowley talk. Okay? You people, you Christians who think you could be in the church and do all that, that's because you're under the they're under that Aleister Crowley vibration. See, people don't understand why Aleister Crowley, he's an old school Caucasian. He practiced witchcraft and Satanism. He was one of those adept Egyptians. That's why I say you guys better watch all that Egyptian talk, because a lot of these Egyptian people, they into Satanism, man. All that Egyptian talk is Satanism, man. All that black magic talk, that's Satanism, man. That's a bunch of hijinks and nonsense and foolishness. The true power is with the Lord, man. The true power is with judgment. And again, I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not an Israelite. I'm a man of the Lord. And the true Lord's name is Amen. You see, separate from the people of God. Separate. The children of God, I should say. The ones that believe everything and don't actually think. You see, the people of the Lord are thinkers. The men and women of the Lord are thinkers. The children of God are believers. You see, because children believe things. Children believe things. See, I don't believe in the Lord or God. I know that the Lord lives. Again, this is not a religious thing because, again, logically, everything was put in front of us. So if everything was put in front of us to partake in, then that means someone put it there. It is not the God of this world, because the God of this world and the people that follow the God of this world are not the builders of the world. Everything is built by law, order, structure. There's a natural law and order for everything. And the people of this world, the people who follow in God, are not following it. And this is why destruction is coming. So let me go ahead and read some other stuff. Just went off the top of that. I just wanted to check out, make sure I'm touching on other topics. All right. Just touching on other topics. And like I said, I'm still doing my conference in ATL. I'm still going to do my conference in ATL. I'm going to put the link up very soon. But go in the comment section on this one, man. The ones people who want to see it, I got to give you a contact number or something like that. I got to give contact numbers out. Let me see. Yeah, I talked about black celebrities being forced to promote the gods of this world. Yep. Oh, my women's channel is up. Of course, I'm adding next content, new and next content. Go subscribe to that from the new mentellect channel, new mentellect women's channel, and check out the mentellect channel. Period. Subscribe to that. Oh wow, I need to put out of that. Yeah, I just want to make sure I touched on everything because I'm gonna wrap it up. I just wanted to show off the new paneling on the walls. The walls are paneled the office white. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna hang up pictures and everything, and we're gonna make the cast more and more, airy, more light and whatnot. My office looks like my wife said my office looks like an airy beach house. It looks beautiful in here. Beautiful. I like the white walls because you can hang anything on here. Let me see. I just want to see what else I want to touch on. Because if I ain't got nothing else, I'm gonna wrap it up. Yeah, a few people question me about the name change. They're still asking, and I said that that it was an evolution into who we are as the American Indigenous people, because we have to stand up as the American Indigenous people again, the intelligent ones of our people, leave the black people behind, and part of our acknowledgement of who we are is as American Indigenous people. Simple as that. I'm going to touch on this. Can black organizations, I wanted to question this, can black organizations help us in the future going forward? Can black organizations help the intelligent ones of our people? Because the future is only for the intelligent people. And everybody would like to think that they're intelligent and forward thinking, but when you really get down to it, they're really not. Because forward-thinking people in 2024 should not be allowing themselves to be called black. They should not be allowing themselves to be referred to as black people. We are American people. Hello, we are American, not African American. I'm so sick and tired of hearing African American. Yet a lot of these black organizations obviously done got on board to promote this lie that we came from Africa and that we are somehow immigrants from Africa. We are not immigrants from Africa. That is a slap in the face. That is a spit to our face to sit up here and call us immigrants when you have all these immigrants who came over here, including the so-called white man who was an immigrant. Who is he to call us immigrants? And he is the main immigrant. The Europeans, the Caucasians, who are not Americans, but yet they're calling us African American, knowing damn well we're not from no Africa. Knowing damn well we're not from no Africa. And a lot of these black organizations, they should have made it clear and plain. I don't hear the Nation of Islam saying we know we're not African, we American Indians. I don't hear the Nation of Islam saying that. Now, do you? I don't hear the Israelites saying that. I don't hear the Pan-Africanists saying that. I don't hear the black conscious community really pushing that too hard. I don't hear that. They still staggering around. It's hard for them to deal with the fact that they're not black. That our skin is not black. That black is not even a real thing. They still stumbling over that. So if you still stumbling over something that should have been like, duh, my skin ain't black, so why am I calling myself black people? If you still struggling with that, if you still struggling with African American, if you still struggling with black or anything else or Pan-Africanism, then you can't help us in the future, man. You can't help us in the future. If you still struggling with that, what the hell are you going to teach us? What the hell are you going to teach us if you still struggling in the future with us as American indigenous people? Why is that so hard for our people to accept that we the American Indians? Why is that so hard? Oh, that's right. Because the white man said y'all African and y'all don't want to offend the white man. You don't want to challenge him or say, no, you wrong. We not Africans. We American Indians. We American indigenous people. Y'all don't want to challenge him because you know how y'all do whatever he say. That's gold. He ain't got to have no proof. The white man don't got to have no proof. But you believe. He could tell you, yeah, go take your ancestor DNA and then turn around and lie to you and tell you, yeah, he telling you they is making up stuff. Yeah, you're 74% sub-Saharan African, you 30% European, you 10% Dutch, whatever the hell they talking about, man. But they gotta always make sure you in Africa somewhere. They just tell y'all anything, man. No proof, just no, you can't even go by. Then they already outed that you can't tell where nobody from no damn saliva, no blood, where people are from. That's a damn lie, man. That's the biggest con game going. But you still got these 23andMe and a lot of you pro-blacks. Y'all guys endorse that, like Henry Louis, Skip Gates. You guys endorse that because y'all part of that whole scheme to lie to our people, to lie to the indigenous American people, to uproot us from our true Lord and place us onto the white man's God, where he telling you Africans and you came from Africa and ain't nothing wrong with being a sodomite, ain't nothing wrong. This is the God you follow in this world. The God that these people follow, the Christian, they African Americans. There's this lady named Lady Boulay. She put in a show and she's like, I'm African American. She old, and she got her name Boulay, Lady Boulay. She got a channel up. I unsubscribe to her, man. I'm not trying to hear nobody tell us we African, man. So-called black American, we African. No, we not. We American indigenous people. We the real American Indians. And like I said, if we are ever going to, evolve mentally, you can't evolve with lies. Let me put it that way. You can't evolve with lies. You cannot evolve with lies. There is no evolution with a lie. You see, true evolution only happens by way of truth, by real truth. That's the only way true evolution happens, by way of truth, not by lies, not by theories, but by logical and rational thought. That is the foundation of truth. Logical and rational thought. You see? So no, these black organizations can't help us. If you want to sit there and talk, we Asiatic black men, or we came from Africa on slave ships, or wherever we fell out of the damn sky from Sirius B or Sirius A, whatever these niggas talking about, man. Whatever these niggas babbling about. They babbling, man. These niggas are babbling at this point. They babbling. They still talking Pan-Africanism, right? Umar about to build a school. Oh, but he can't get the school open. Do anybody still care about Umar Johnson's school? Does anybody still care? Now that we know we're not African, does anybody still care if he have a damn school up where he gonna teach African technology on space on whatever the hell he was saying, man? Nobody. Oh man. Man, is this the best? Is this the best that the black race can offer? Is it the best that these so-called black people who's supposed to be scholars and all this other BS that y'all sit up here and they got thousands of viewers watching them? This is the best they can do? They're not challenging our people mentally, man. They're not challenging us mentally. They're not stimulating us mentally. They're not raising our mind. They're not giving us things to think about. Nothing. They're not giving a damn thing for us to think about, man. All they doing is giving a bunch of BS, man. That just a bunch of BS. Nothing special, just a bunch of BS. Right? So things that keep us subjugated and under the so-called white man. All right. Let me see. I'm about to wrap this up soon. I just want to make sure I touched on everything. Again, so I don't ask for no donations. Just subscribe. Subscribe to Mentellect Patreon. Subscribe to my Mentellect Patreon women's channel. If for you women out there watching, I want you to experience the logical and rational thoughts on how a man sees women, because ultimately how you put yourself out, majority of women who are heterosexual women, how you put yourself out there, you're putting yourself out there, and 9 times out of 10, you're putting yourself out there for the opposite sex, you see, to see or to be attracted to you, or just represent yourself in a good manner toward the opposite sex. Again, that only comes with reality of how men see. I'm a man, an intelligent man, I'd like to think. An intelligent man, so I'm told. I want you to hear how an intelligent man views women. Really views women, an intelligent man. See, y'all been listening to how a bunch of males believe, or what a bunch of males believe about you. You've never heard how a man thinks concerning women. The closest you got was Kevin Samuels. But our women's channel, and then the men's channel I'm about to do, the Mentellect men's channel, coming soon, only $10 a month. You think you heard something from Kevin Samuels? I'm a little deeper than Kevin Samuels. This is going to be beyond Kevin Samuels on steroids, because too much energy is given to a lot of these females here in society. Too much energy, too much attention is given to these females, and they don't deserve it. You men out here real men out here who have things to accomplish and focus on, you need to stop focusing on these goddamn females, man. They're not women. And I'm going to talk about that on my men's channel. These females out here don't qualify to be called women. A lot of these females out here do not qualify to be called women. A woman is not just you're not a woman just because you got a vagina and breasts. You're not a woman. Just like you ain't a man just because you got a penis and testicles. That don't make you a man. That makes you a male and a female. But what makes you a woman? We're talking about that. Speaking on that. It's a mental thing. Just like it's a mental thing for you to be men. But see, because a lot of y'all are third party people, you got to go through the so-called white man for your masculinity now. A lot of you black males, you don't stand up as men. You don't think first because you're put behind as black people. You're put behind as black people, people in darkness, people sitting up here telling you what your history is going to be instead of what your history actually is. Remember I told y'all before, the so-called white man, the ones who are in authority, they don't teach history, man. They tell you what history is going to be. In other words, they're going to tell you what the history is going to be. They don't teach you the history. They tell you what history is going to be, which means they're going to make up a bunch of stuff. That's all. You got to wake up to that, man. You got a lot of these niggas out here. They done sold out. They with the beast. You know what I'm saying? They lying to our people. A lot of these big platformers who you see up here who's supposed to be so pro-black and they against the so-called white man and white supremacy and whatnot. Don't believe that shit, man. These people, they're not. They're not. They're really not. Because if they was really against it, trust me, the so-called white man, these Caucasians who run YouTube and all that, they would have demonetized the hell out their channels and whatnot, and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You said they would have demonetized these people, man. Like how they shadow ban my channel, right? And you barely get to and people don't get the notifications. They shadow ban my channel, right? And y'all just, like I said, it's just They do that for a reason, because anything that is about uplifting our people, really uplifting our people where it counts mentally. See, because, and I'm about to wrap this up in a minute, I am one who thinks, like, you know, what is being black gotten us? What is being black people gotten us? Because again, we didn't just wake up and decide we're gonna be black people. We woke up and somebody was already telling us y'all black people. Remember, I was born 1970. Okay, I'm 53 years old. I was born on the other side of 1969, because the people born 69 and back, they remember when they was just Negroes and colored and whatnot. I was born on the side of when, we first started with this black thing. And I've seen over the time that it has gotten us nothing. And it will continue to get us nothing. And as an American Indigenous man, my wife turned on my lights. I guess I was kind of in the dark. She turned on. Thank you, dear. Yeah. It got us nowhere. It got us nowhere. Being black has gotten us nowhere. Being African American has gotten us nowhere. In fact, it has taken us to a worse state, because we were better off when we were colored people. Honestly, when we were copper colored people. I told you that's where the colored people come from. They took the colored part off, because color denotes power. Color denotes clarity. I'm not saying we should go back to being called colored people. We don't went past that, but we should definitely push past being black people. We just American, man. American Indigenous. We just American by nationality. That's all. We just American. Everybody else got come from someplace else. They wanted to make it. They couldn't have everybody else coming from someplace else, and then they get around to us, and we were like, where y'all come from? Oh, so they had to fill in the blank with Africa. And I'm still waiting for these guys to prove. That we came from Africa on slave ships. That's not going to happen. All right, let me just make sure I'm touched on everything I wanted to say before I get out of here. All right. Well, let me give you one last jewel before I go about suffering. I talked about this on my broadcast, and I asked the question. I said, why is there so much suffering in the world? Why is there so much suffering in the world? I asked this question. Why is there so much suffering in the world? Why are we seeing so much suffering? You see? Because you got a lot of miserable people in the world. We got a lot of miserable people in the world who feed on misery, right? People who cannot be helped. We got a lot of miserable people that feed on misery in the world who can't be helped. You got a lot of beta male simps out here. You got a lot of liberated black females out here. You got a lot of people out here who are just fuel for the fire. People who just meant to suffer because that is their judgment. You see, you got a lot of people out here who are meant to suffer because that's part of their judgment. This world is full of suffering people. And that's why I try to make sure I don't, I'm going to show you something funny with the wealthy people. You know why the wealthy people don't help people that suffer and people that's destitute? They don't do that because they feel like it's your duty to, and you know what? I think that way now. I suffered a little bit in my life. I suffered. Everybody had their time where they suffered, but nothing speaks about true strength, true mental fortitude if you are able to work past wherever it is you're suffering in. So if you could help people, and I've been helped, and I've helped people, you know what I'm saying? But you can't. It's just certain people. How can I say? It's just people you can't help. I've helped a lot of people. I've received help. You know what I'm saying? But it was only returned to me because I'll help people who I feel are worthwhile in helping. That's based, again, on judgment. You're supposed to help people that are worth helping. And I've helped out, and you learn by judgment who's worth helping and who's not worth helping by helping people, by getting burned, by getting people taking advantage. That happened to me before. I got burnt for money, helped people out, did all kinds of things for people, but I didn't let. But what it did, I didn't just keep walking around and being open-handed with money. I developed discernment with who I helped. I developed discernment of who I gave energy to. I developed discernment. Don't let nobody tell you that we're not supposed to be judging. Hell yeah, we're supposed to be judging. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we're supposed to judge. We supposed to be part of the judgment. That's the problem. We don't judge enough. That's why that's why y'all now they tell you your son, your daughter can bring home whoever, male or female, whatever race, your children could just do whatever they want to do because you ain't supposed to judge. You're supposed to love them and accept that. Who the hell delivering this message to us, man? Who the hell is delivering the message that we just supposed to accept everything and lay down and accept everything, man? Who the hell delivering this message to us? That we just supposed to accept white Jesus over our head as our Lord and Savior. We're supposed to accept our children coming home telling us they sodomites. We're just supposed to accept that, this world is full of degeneracy and unfair treatment, racist police officers. We're just supposed to accept that, right? With no judgment, no correction, no nothing. We're just supposed to accept bad treatment. This is what they want to put in the minds of our people. That we're just supposed to accept degenerate behavior, bad treatment from others and others who look like us and others who don't. We're not supposed to accept none of that. You see, just like we're not supposed to accept poverty, we're not supposed to accept being broke or whatever. We're supposed to push through. And it's even greater if we push through as a community. That's why I always speak for community, because if we ever need help, we're supposed to be able to go to the community. If we ever need support or real genuine support, not being on no bum freeloader stuff. I'm talking about real support where you a good man or a good woman, but you fell down a hard time. We help our people up. That's what the community's for. We're supposed to have the community because when we see, boys fighting with each other or something going wrong with our children, as men supposed to stop that. When we see gossip taking place with our daughters and they being turned into liberated black females out here twerking their ass, we supposed to stop that. Or they laid up somewhere pregnant at 14 years old and on their way to the abortion clinic. We supposed to have a community that snips that in the bud, because we ain't letting our daughters go out here and be sexually active at young ages. That's not what we're supposed to do. But you so-called black people, because y'all up here and y'all been lax, you've been lax on taking care of your children, picking the right men to have children with, making sure you don't create a damn paper trail of deadbeat dads with children that are not being raised with fathers. This is what happens on the Black Watch. And because who's on the watch with of the black community, the so-called black community, the liberated black female, and the beta male simp that stands by her. That's why I said there is no real community. There is no real community. The things that befall so-called black people that we tired of seeing and want to do something about it, we step into the side to do something about it. Those of us by quadrant ourselves off from the so-called black people who don't care about community, don't care about whether your daughters end up pregnant or dead or a damn abortion clinic or twerking or being ran through by whoever. You don't care about that, or you don't care about your sons being sodomites or gangbangers or drug dealers. Those of you who don't care about that, that's fine. We leave those people to the wayside, man. You leave those people to the wayside and you take the decent people, the ones who have evolved mentally, because for those of you who don't think there's nothing wrong with being a sodomite or being a gangbanger or a drug dealer or a low life nigga in the hood or a damn liberated black female talking that black girl magic BS, or twerking your ass and talking about sex magic, or you black females walking around with damn blonde, blue, and purple and burgundy and multicolored wigs on, looking like a damn circus just pulled up and let you hoes out. For those of you who know that this is nothing but degeneracy in the world, and yeah, I called you hoes because that's the way, that's the only talk y'all understand. You see, you making whores and harlots out of yourself. If you okay with that, then that's fine. You shouldn't be listening to me, because I'm all the way judgmental. I'm all the way judgmental. Judgmental, meaning judge the mind. Judgmental. You know, how the so-called white man judge you, but then he tell you to turn around and don't judge people in our neighborhood. That's why, again, we that message is dead. This is all about judgment. This is all about evolution out of the so-called black race who has left behind the mindset of judgment, the mindset of decency, the mindset of integrity, the mindset of community. We done with that. That's it. I don't got nothing else to say. I'm gonna be back. Let me check one more time, make sure I touched on everything. All right, because I'm about to wrap this up. All right. Yeah, I done touched on everything. So I'm gonna close out. In the name of Amen, by the power of Amen, and Amen we trust, and Amen we think, and in Amen we continue forward forever. I am the intellectual Benjamin Manhattan, and getting used to my next name, my new name, which I love a lot. Sound a lot better than Newman Mincares. I don't even know who that guy is no more. I'm loving my next name. So, yeah. What I want to close out with? I found something I wanted to close out with, and I wanted to hold on. Subscribe to, again, Mentellect Patreon, the Mentellect Patreon. Subscribe to my Mentellect Patreon, because y'all know I can't really talk how I want to talk on YouTube. Again, I'm not about the monetization, but subscribe to Mentellect Patreon. Subscribe to the Mentellect Patreon Women's Channel. That's MENTELLECT. Also, become a member. Join the Republic of America. Join the Republic of America worldwide. Join the Republic of America. Go hit the link down below. Join the first American Indigenous community, because that's what we evolving into, an American Indigenous community, because it ain't no goddamn black community. There's no black community. So join the Republic of America and stand up as real American Indigenous men and real American Indigenous women. We have a direction we moving in, because the so-called black race, they not moving in no direction at all. We moving, we in motion, and they're in a state of stagnation. Again, evolution is about movement, growth mentally. The evolution, we have to evolve as a collective people and leave those behind, your Billy Porters and all these other types of Negroes who you should be ashamed to even be classified in the same sense. These people definitely make you ashamed to be black. You know what I'm saying? Not that we black anyway, but again, they make you ashamed to be associated with them. If you're ashamed to be associated with degenerates, join the Republic of America, because we need an upstanding community of real American people, and that's it. So subscribe to join the Republic of America. Join the check out the Ethnic American channel. Check out Brother Jania's Wiseman channel. And this is the truth. I'm offering to my people the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the logical truth. So help me Allah. I will be back on Fridays. I'm gonna be doing these casts on Fridays. So catch me next Friday. Those of you who I'll be on every Friday, every six days, Friday to Friday. I'm gonna break down in the next cast why 6 is really the number of our people, the intelligent ones of our people. So that's it. What else? Men's channel coming. The link will be out here soon. The men's channel is coming. So that's it. Good night. And soon that gentle stream began to flow. We could stop believing that our tears would rain. You can cry and still like God never grew. Oh, by the way, of course, y'all know this is not tobacco. This is marijuana. Good marijuana. Something our people did as American Indians. This is what we use this as American Indians. You know. So.